It all started 6 months ago when KMTV spoke to parents from Abbey Court School, who set up the Boss campaign to urge Medway Council to build a secondary site for children with special educational needs and disabilities, after initial plans to build it were scrapped. After several silent protests and a petition rallying up almost 4,000 signatures, Medway Council finally submitted a bid to government to build a £25 million learning village and provide schooling for more than 200 children aged 7 to 19. The council said the plans would provide the much-needed special needs provision in Medway post-2020 and reduce the number of young people who needed to study out of area. But the Medway Labour group have stalled proceedings in Cabinet because they think MCG, the company employed to manage the site, aren't fit enough to do so. The decision on whether Medway's bid is successful will be announced in January. But there's plenty more still to debate when SEN provision is still causing conflict in the Cabinet.
So, Clive, you've been campaigning alongside parents who say they're happy for this school to be built. What's Medway Labour's stance on it?
Well, for a long time we've supported improved and increased SEN provision. We've supported the idea of repatriating money that's currently being spent outside Medway within Medway. So we're not opposed to the principle of this. And we have supported the Boss campaign for the Abbey School site and the concerns that parents have about the provision there. So we've got a long history of supporting SEN provision in Medway. Our concerns are mainly twofold with this particular project. We're concerned about the involvement of MCG, Medway Commercial Group. They're a company which is owned by Medway, but which has experience of areas like telecare, loan working, CCTV. Doesn't have experience of major capital projects, which this obviously represents at £25 million. So we have concerns with that aspect of it, and concerns have been raised by residents about MCG's performance in some areas of its contracts, particularly CCTV. The other main area of concern that we have is around the financing. The Cabinet reports and the report that went to a recent committee doesn't identify clearly what the financing, and because it doesn't do that, we can't be sure as councillors about how the money will be repaid, what the financial arrangements will be for the new school. So we support the principle of improved SEN provision, but it's our job to question the council on how it actually does that.
And on that point, Andrew, what do you make of this?
Well, I'm dumbfounded. The Labour group clearly opposed this new school that we had innovatively come together to look to construct, which was just, for me, shocking, really. You know, and to suggest it's nothing than political grandstanding, I don't understand. We're going to be building a school that will bring children back into Medway, that will be a unique provision we've not got, provide residential accommodation, and the idea has come out of a commercial group, a group that has the space to actually think and innovate. And we must be clear, this is going to be an independent school. Independent schools are funded in a very different way. And with the pressure that we have in reducing budgets from central government, we've got to be creative in finding the ways. And to suggest that MCG hasn't got the experience, I, as the chairman of that organisation, we have a very capable executive, chief executive and other directors. There are professionals from across Kent who have delivered hundreds of millions of pounds of projects across Kent, and they'll be involved in this, in delivering it. And you know, so for me, to suggest Clive's in there saying that he supports this school, I'd be delighted to let's see if he gets behind it.
Just a quick note on that, Clive. Do you think it is just becoming a political thing?
It's our job as councillors to question the administration and the decisions that they make and the basis on which they make those decisions. We could argue that MCG display professional competence, but those areas of professional competence do not relate to a £25 million capital project. In the past, Medway Council has built schools. It has not gone down this route before. It has used project managers and builders that build schools.
Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for on this fascinating topic, the one we could go on for a long time. But thanks ever so much to both of you for joining us.